King. Sir King. Sir King.
Canvas.
Sir King. Sir King. Sir King. Sir King.
Okay, what's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Listen, I mean, just a matter of hours ago, I was talking to Rico. Okay, and you wake up and then you find out he been apprehended, he been arrested. And the crazy thing is, he wasn't based on what I. Okay, first I want to say hello to Victoria. What's going on? How you doing? Good to see you because I do believe in acknowledgement. Just thank y'all for being here. Lexi said the thumbnail is crazy. What thumbnail crazy, Lexi? What's up? Good morning, Cheryl, the spoiler Burnett. How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. So let's get into it. So like I said, I was speaking to Rico this morning or whatever, late at night, whatever. And he was going through everything and was just asking questions and pretty much trying to stress to him the importance of, understand where, be careful where this may go, the importance of your freedom, and, just most likely just get off of YouTube, right? Really, you know what I mean? And the sad part about it, when he was explaining to me, because I kept asking, I said, "What does your caseworker say? What does your caseworker say when you meet with her?" And I know she got to ask, "Why do you go on YouTube? Why are you going on there?" And all he could just tell me was that, "Oh, I'm about to get off. I'm about to get off because it's about to take everything that I got." But I'm like, damn, I didn't expect that to transpire in a matter of hours. What's up, Randy? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. So I didn't expect that to be like in a matter of hours. So I wake up and then somebody said, "Ooh, Very Carey had a lie to me, so ooh, Rico's been arrested." Now I know people do a lot of clickbait shit and all that other stuff, you know what I mean? So I had to go see what she was talking about for herself, and then it was true that Rico had got arrested. So Rico, you know, fortunate for him and fortunate for us, either however way you want to look at it, because I do feel when you do have an actual account of what happened, you can control the narrative. Because I felt like if it was just on paper, a lot of people could spin a whole bunch of shit, right? So Rico, I saw the video for myself. Okay, and I watched it about 2 or 3 times. And let me tell you something. Those police officers were there not because I don't think of the threats mentioned towards the other content creator or the knife or whatever, right? I'm not gonna say I think. I know from the video those police were there for an animal abuse charge, right? He had been charged with animal abuse based on the evidence submitted. Because when I'm gonna tell you what, I think they originally went out to investigate if the charge had any substance. Okay, he went there. They knocked on the door. It seemed like he came outside. They asked him a couple of questions. The police officer was trying to understand how this beef happened. They first thought this shit was pre-planned. They said, "Oh, y'all planning this?" So I guess they come across a lot of beefs that are planned and then get out of hand. And then he went into the situation like, "Oh, how this start, da, 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 da." And then Rico, as he was talking, he incriminated himself, talking, "Oh, if he don't stop, I'm gonna go do this, do that, do that, do that." Right? Because the police were fishing for information. Now, this is the part where Rico fucked up, because it's the other cop who sound like Vin Diesel came in talking about something. "Oh, is there anybody else in there, or is it just the dog?" When he said that, go back and watch it. That's when Rico fucked up, because everything they were doing was based on certain like information they were fed, not on actual witness and actual evidence, right? So when he opened the door, they saw what his place looked like, and they saw the dog, right? And then they said, "Well, come back out." And they said, "We're gonna place you under arrest." And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, what happened from when y'all were talking to the point you asked him, is there anybody in there? He just said the dog. And then that was the code. That was the well, Rico opened the door, because he was trying to say, "Hey, this is the dog. That's the only person in here." Then that was the police officer's way of pretty much seeing if there was any substance behind the charge that I guess they had trumped up against them or charged them with, which was animal cruelty. So now this is the crazy part, right? So when they come back out, they ask him to step back out. Step back out. He says, "Now we're going to put you under arrest, or we're going to detain you." And then after Rico says, "Why?" He says, "Because what you showed us." I was like, "Oh, hell no." It's very, very it's very smooth. It's very smooth the way they did that shit and the way he said it. But pick up on what he said, because I had to go watch it 3 times. I'm like, wait, what happened? He said, "What you showed us." Rico didn't show them shit. Rico didn't pull out no. Rico didn't pull out no paper. Rico didn't pull out no video. Rico didn't pull out no documentation about where he got the dog. Rico didn't pull out no license. Rico didn't pull out nothing. Rico just opened the door to show that there was nobody else in there and just his dog. And then they said, "Come back out. We'll get whatever you need." And then he says, "You under arrest, you being detained. We take you down to the precinct or whatever." And he said, "Why?" And he said, "Because of what you showed us." I was like, "Oh, hell no." So I guess enough of what they saw validified the claims that were being made that the dog was being kept in inhumane or improper conditions. And then therefore, the claim of animal cruelty, I guess, in their eyes, met the case. Because then he said, Rico said, "This some bullshit." Now, this is how you know what Rico was arrested on. Rico was arrested on animal cruelty charges. Because what did the cop say? He didn't say, "Oh, make it a terroristic threat or a veiled threat or anything or premeditated," nothing. He said, "Oh, so animal cruelty is a big deal." So that's how you know what he was charged on. And I was like, wow, that's messed up. And he said, "We taking you down." And he said, "Oh, we gonna take your dog with you." I was like, damn, you rubbing it in if you gonna take. I understand they gotta take the dog to make sure the dog is taken care for. But you kind of rubbing it in when you sitting up there taking the dog to jail with Rico. Like, to be honest, he said, "Oh, you gonna have a court hearing and all this other crap." It seemed like they had already put the charges on him. They had already put the charges on him, sight unseen. That's what it seemed like, and they had done their preliminary investigation, but they needed, like I said, validation to suffice the charges that were put on him. And when he opened that door, that was it. And it was kind of crazy because Rico said, "You ain't got a warrant. Do you have a warrant for my arrest? Do you have a warrant to enter my premises?" Because then they were like, "Oh, well, don't." Rico's like, "Don't close the door." And they're like, "Why we can't close the door?" He's like, "Because I got to get my keys." Child, and then they went in there. I guess they had to go in there. I was like, because then after that point, you don't really see. I mean, you see them kind of coming in, but that's when I guess everything go black. Shell said they already knew the answer to what they. Oh yeah, Shell, you're right. They already knew, but they kind of were nervous because the man said after they arrested him, he said, "Oh, thank you for not putting up a fight. We appreciate that." The guy that sounded like Vin Diesel. He said, "Thank you for not putting up a fight." So they already were on their P's and Q's about this may be a hostile situation. But I want to know all before, did they come there with the predetermined mind and take his ass to jail? Or did they come there based on circumstantial evidence? See, this is why I wish we really had a lawyer around here running around. Because I want to know if they came there with circumstantial evidence and if that evidence met the merit of what the arrest warrant. Let's say he was living in a palatial estate and they falsely called on him, and the officer walked in the palatial estate would they still have arrested Rico? That's what I want to know. What the you would they have still arrested Rico? That is what I would like to know. Because the key thing for me, and I know I'm repeating myself, but I gotta drive it home, was they were still filling out Rico until Rico opened that door. Once Rico opened that door and saw it and shared his living conditions with that dog, it was a wrap. It was a wrap. After that, there wasn't much conversation after that. Oh, okay. We heard it says Turkey and they had a warrant from the ASP child. Then, okay, so we heard it. Then why the hell they would ask all the motherfucking questions? I don't understand. I guess they would try to gather evidence. Because if they have a warrant, they don't come and ask no damn questions. They come in where you at, who you are, and do you have a form of ID to validate who you are? And they haul your ass away. They're not asking who your beef with, why this started, all this. It was giving mixed signals to me. But I guess when it's of an internet nature, they have to do their own research because they know some of these people be doing these stunts to get clicks and views and it not be actual truth of the matter. So, what's up, CEO, little boss lady? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Lexi says, what's up, Lexi? He said, did he talk about a dog's fur? Yeah, I heard somebody say that. Yeah, somebody said, what is that? I got to go back and listen to that part. I was just more concerned about what caused him to get arrested. Because who said that? Shell. They didn't say, right, that's right. I guess the ASPCA is the one that made the claim or called in because they didn't say we have a warrant for your arrest. Like the circumstances in which he was arrested was like really weird. Like they didn't come knocking on the door. We have a warrant for your arrest due to animal cruelty. It was weird. It was like they were fishing for shit. And once they found what they wanted, they said, "Okay, this is enough to go ahead and proceed with the warrant." Like I mean, it's. I guess when you watch cop shows, okay, let me go back to when I watched Law and Order. When I watched Law and Order, they would always do their investigation, right? They would see the Coke boys, and then they'll say, "Oh, we saw them walking into the warehouse with a briefcase," and then they say, "Okay, that's enough to get a warrant." So I guess what they saw online was enough to get a warrant for the arrest. That's the only way I could put that together. And then they needed more evidence since it was virtual. And when they saw the living conditions, that solidified proceeding with the arrest. Because I guess they didn't want to arrest an error. That's how I feel. Brown Beauty World says King Roman couldn't take what he said on your panel. What? Who panel? King Roman. Oh, my panel last night. So Brown Beauty World. Oh, but Brown Beauty World, when I was doing that, talking to him, I was very, very careful. I kept it to the messiness. And I kept it when I was talking about him, I made sure not to make sure no shit was incited in terms of his personal safety, either way, or Rico. Because Rico like to talk, Rico like to get inflamed and all that stuff. And I made sure I was very diligent that no threats were issued and I kept it on the messy stuff. So, I was looking out for him in his regards because nobody like I wouldn't want no Rico rolling down there to wherever he lived to pull up with a knife and all that other shit. So I made when Rico was issuing threats, I made very clear that it was kept on a level where it wasn't that crazy. Because it's hard. I had to turn off the chat because Rico was responding to the chat. I had to turn off the damn chat, and I know, that can excite people too when people are coming at you at the chat. I sometimes have to just turn off the chat for just so he wouldn't get motivated to say something else that's crazy. Right, Bush baby, they played good cop, bad cop because the other one acted all naive. The beef, what? What? Who this? Do y'all plan this out? And then Vin Diesel coming in. Anybody else we gotta worry about in there? Anybody else? Your keys, we gotta find. Child, I was like, anyway. Bruce Baby says you have the right to remain silent and know your rights for yourself. That's the crazy. They didn't issue that man his rights. So that might be an invalid arrest, right? They didn't issue his rights at all. But what's up, Mr. LA? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for being over here. Shantae Elba. So Rico won't be getting him a cat to go with his dog like he was saying on your show. I don't think so. I don't think so. I really don't. I really don't. I don't think so. Lexi, stop it. Stop it. I was like, who does Vin Diesel want to be? Thank you for not putting up a fight. We appreciate it. I was like, what the hell? He hit a dog, not a human, man. But anyway, I guess. But Rico, I'm not knocking Rico right down, but when he stood up there and started saying, I'll do it if I have to, no. And I was like, Rico, are you incriminating yourself? He was, child. Sally O'Malley said they were old wounds. Ooh, child. Okay. Laser Real says, can you fix your mic? Is my mic sounding bad? Can y'all not hear me? Because I think I'm coming across okay. But what I think and what's actually going on is totally two different things. SK, the police saw the wounds on the dog. Right. But did he do those wounds? Like that dog came for a shelter. So that dog may have old wounds from another situation. I don't know. Bush maybe in NYC, the ASPCA Humane Police Department is the only one that can retrieve any animals. And Rico do this because Rico said shit. He said they care more about dogs than they care about people. I don't know. And I didn't want to say this to Rico. I didn't want to say this to Rico last night. What was it? No, I didn't want to say this on Barry Carey Live. But I think Rico liked the attention, not in a way what he was getting, but when you people like, there's a thrill that comes when people are talking about you, right? So I think he liked that thrill of people now talking about him. Unfortunately, he had to get them talking about him in this way. That's unfortunate. It really is. It really, really is. So it's a little crackly. All right, y'all. I'm gonna refresh and I'll be right back. Hold on, y'all. I'll be right back. Hold on, I'll be right. Okay, hopefully that's better. Hopefully that's better. If y'all want to, feel free to send the gesture $sign Sir King Crown because I'm in great shock and distress because of the situation with Rico. Shell says they looked him up before they got there. That's why they said what they said. Well, you know what, Shell? I'm sure the threats aligned with the animal cruelty situation. It got them online alarmed too, to be honest. Brown Beauty Show, but wasn't the outcome of his case with Snowbella that Rico wasn't supposed to have possession of any more pets? Just asking. Now, I don't think that was the outcome of that case. I don't think that was it. But I don't know. Gemini 75, hello Gemini says they don't have to reach your rights until you are in custody and being interrogated about a crime. But that's the key thing when you in their custody though. They put him in handcuffs. We heard them take out the handcuffs and pretty much put them around his wrist. So I don't know. When they put you under arrest, they gotta read you your rights, right? You are now under arrest. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to have an attorney. If you can afford one, then the court will appoint you one. So I'm just saying. I mean, when does that process start? I guess it's the key word. Mm-hmm. All right. What's up, Natasha? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Um, Let me see what else is going on. And I'm gonna leave that alone real quick. Thank you for my wonderful moderators. I'm gonna drop the link in case anybody wants to come up and share any of their sentiments. That's all I really got to say. It was eerie for me because I was just speaking with him, right? And I had not planned to talk to him or nothing like that, but it was eerie for me that we were just talking about freedom, getting off of YouTube. He said he was leaving YouTube in a minute, like in I guess a couple of days, and all that. And just to see that we were those who were in my live last night know I was talking to him about freedom. I said, you like to smoke, right? I said, you like to go outside, right? I said, you like to take your dog, right? I said, you can't do that in jail. I said, you can't, you don't be, I said, I know you like to be around men, but you won't be around all them men. So, I said that to him to drive home the point. And just to have that shit happen like that. And that's why I was very careful about steering the conversation a certain way because I did not want nobody getting, oh, he issued a threat or nothing like that. And it's just like, in this day and age, you have to be careful what you say, you know, and your words should get you caught up. Like I tell people, none of y'all got no credits running before your broadcast. None of y'all got no advertisement running during your broadcast. Like I'm talking about professional, meant for you. And none of y'all got them credits running at the end. Y'all act like, oh, this is my show. But y'all don't come in here with no damn saying this is the script and all this shit. No. So it's just sad to see that that's a real life situation. And I told him, I said, this is a gladiator sport for many. A lot of people who don't see, love to sit up there and tear up somebody's life, but wouldn't want that shit done to them. But they don't care because they see it as a form of entertainment. And I got mad at somebody when they said, that's how dare you say such a thing, but nobody can touch your life. Like, but hopefully he'll learn. I mean, it's just a sad situation. Like, Rico, you like, I was going to title this live, Rico's Honesty Gets Him Caught Up. Yes, you're supposed to be honest, but not when they're going to land your ass in a slammer. And he was all honest with the cop. I mean, I'm not advocating for dishonesty, but a cop will even tell you, be careful what you say. So he was just sitting up there just telling the cop everything. Yes, it's a beef, it's real, it's gonna get real. And then, Lord have mercy, Jesus. When he sat up there and said, this could get real like the situation in Las Vegas, I was like, oh my God, Rico, what are you doing? I was like, Rico, why would you mention something that actually happened? And I got kind of queasy because that situation with King Roman in Las Vegas was kind of mirroring what happened. And I'm like, oh my God, in any case they need to take you in, is that one? Oh, Tanya not Rogers says, I just hope he don't lose his house. And this this is effed up. Well, Tanya, like I said, that's why I told him they need to chill the fuck out because when you lose, I feel Rico's Pets was something of that gave him comfort, that gave him something to look forward to in life, and that gave him some form of emotional stability and whatever other thing it caused him to get from day to day. And then when he sees or learns that somebody's about trying to take that away, that gets people to go crazy. That gets people to go crazy. They go ham, you know. Rico has no business having an animal. He is too hot tempered. I can't say I want him in jail, but I don't want him anything under his care. I can understand that, but I can understand that. But I don't know, y'all. It's tough because while a lot of people looking at this as entertainment, there is somebody currently locked up in the jail and probably won't get their dog again, to be honest. And then on top of that, who knows what the conditions of that program were to not have contact with law enforcement, to not be arrested. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows what the status of that program was and how strict it is, and if they will allow him to, maintain his house. I don't know. The cop clearly said the dog was missing fur and to see it with their own eyes. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Yeah, that's true. terrorized. That's good that he kept telling his caseworker about this though before it happened. And you know, right now the caseworker is his strongest advocate right now, more than anybody, because she's in the system and she's got a detailed history of his history and what he been going through and all that. So you're right, the caseworker is the strongest advocate. So we'll see if he or she does her job. Well, I think it's a she. He should just stay out this motherfucker because he has a whole lot to do. I agree. I agree. I agree. YouTube, if you got enemies and shit like that who want to take from you, then this ain't the place for you. This ain't the place for you. And especially like if you're doing stuff that people can see, this ain't the place for you. It's not the place. People are very vile and they do the most vile things. I don't know. Mm, Rico, I don't know, bro. All I can say is I don't know. Hopefully he get released and that's it. You know, and he can hopefully go on with his way. And hopefully he pick up something else that give him great pleasure to move on. You know, rather than having an animal and stuff like that. I don't know, y'all. I don't. Cause I see homeless people with dogs. Not to say that. Not to try to equate the two, but I'm trying to say you see homeless people with dogs, and they dogs ain't the most well kept dogs either. So I don't know. It's a sad situation. That's why you got to get on your knees every day and say, "Thank God that you don't have that predicament," or just be thankful and be grateful for what you do have. I don't know. Sally O'Malley, have you seen the video yet? Which video? Which video you talking about? The one with the dog? I ain't see that. I ain't see that video. I guess it happened outside. And like I said, I know people who discipline their dogs rough. I'm not excusing that. I'm not excusing what took place because I didn't see it, and I kind of don't want to see it because if I see something I don't like, then I'm gonna start having emotional issues and stuff like that, and it made me get upset or sad. And I'm trying not to get upset and sad today because I told you I have an issue with the Avatar mobile, and I pretty much got that situated, so I don't want to see nothing sad. Okay. Oh, what's up, love, Blake? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Hope you're doing well. I haven't watched. Just hearing about it hurt my heart. I'm a huge animal lover. I have 3 rescue pits. Um, well, everybody's got a different degree of an attachment. Love Blake. I'm not love Blake. Gemini 75. Gemini 75 says, I don't understand how homeless people are allowed to have animals either. Well, Gemini, you gotta understand what 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 stops them from the ability of being able to care and love for um an animal. You know what the hell he says? SK, what's your thoughts on boycott African businesses on August 1st? Sure. Why are you coming in here with that question? Why would we boycott African businesses on August 1st? You need to be worried about that damn tariff situation because that tariff situation is supposed to be resolved by August 1st. So that's the main thing. If them tariffs ain't resolved by August 1st, what's going to happen? Is he going to kick the can down the road? Castle Powell, what's up, Castle Powell says, Rico said that was already on probation. What was already on probation? Yeah, he's currently on probation. You saying that he's currently on probation? I'm trying to figure out who you said is on probation. Rico on probation? That was already on probation. I don't know what you meant about that. But if he on probation, child. But how he already on probation, but he said he ain't had no incidents since he been in New York for 4 years. And why was that cop all surprised? 4 years, my gosh. 4 years? I guess he's like 4 years and you ain't had no problems. That was weird. Like it was like as if Rico said, I've been here for 40 years. He just said 4 years. And I don't know. Maybe cop knows something. I don't know. Who knows? Um, I mean, that's all I can really say, y'all. I mean, it's not much to add to this because it's just a sad situation. It's people calling the police, getting people involved. Some people say they had a right to because they saw the animal hit and harmed. Okay, we understand that. But to understand, you gotta really understand the situation happened 4th of July. That's 4th of July. We damn near August. Is that when the real? I mean, because that situation with that dog kind of transpired like what 2 weeks ago. So I don't know, y'all. That why, no. This beef and stuff ain't what it used to be. Everybody want to run to the police and stuff and get other people involved. So African braiders are Black Americans boycotting us. African braiders are Black Americans boycotting us. What? African braiders. Hold on. Child. So who us? African braiders are Black Americans boycotting us. Who us? You Indian? Charlie Amanda, you Indian? Or white? Or white African? I don't know. Well, I can't see that on StreamYard. It don't let me see what was the track. The African braiders are boycotting us. Oh, okay. Why? Okay, Sally O'Malley, why? The next question is why? Why? Because of inflation? What? Because of the tariffs? What? Sweet Party says yes, y'all pulling out our edges. What? And who the hell are you, Sweet Polly? Wait, you got Sally O'Malley and Sweet Polly. Yes, y'all were pulling out our edges. Sweet Polly, LOL, real heavy in the early 2000s. What in the hell y'all talking about? What are y'all talking about? This is weird. Talking about boycotting here. It's a whole movement. But damn, do I wear weave? I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I don't wear weave. A whole movement. Why? What's the movement? But I believe it's the other way around. So that they getting deported and getting investigated. Wait, so the Africans are getting investigated and oh, okay. So since they getting deported, they want to boycott selling weave over here. Are y'all? Wait a minute. Are y'all talking about the Asians? No, no African breeder. I mean, I'm sorry, an African breeder. An African breeder. No, I'm not an African breeder. No. Talking about us disrespectfully, and they ain't what doing out here. Well, shit, um, listen, I'm getting tired of a lot of people disrespecting black folks in their own language. That's crazy. Now, okay, I understand what y'all saying. So now they want to. So the Asians want to boycott the black folks. Is that what I'm getting? Is that what's making sense now? Child, I don't know. If you think about it deep down, it's kind of sad that the world has made black people feel as if they're not beautiful because they don't have their own natural hair. Like we have to, in order to be considered. Now, how the hell that work? Excuse me, ladies, no offense. They convince y'all to wear blonde hair. Y'all ain't seen blonde in y'all motherfucking life. And they convince y'all to wear that. The blonde hair. This world is crazy. Crazy. It's insane. It's really insane. No worries. That's insane. Like how this world can make people feel bad about their natural characteristics and stuff to emulate what's on top of their head. Blonde, then you go blue, and then you go red. That blonde thing tripped me out. I'm like, you ain't got a blonde pubic hair anywhere, and you over there putting blonde in your hair as if it's gonna sprout out, and you're not gonna become a blondie. Child. Woo! Anyway, back to what we were talking about. Don't hate. I'm not hating. Son. I don't care. The benefits of being a man, I enjoy it. I ain't got to worry about no weave on my head. I ain't got to worry about no weave on my head. I ain't got to worry about combing it out. I ain't got to worry about patting my head 18,000 times and giving myself a self-imposed headache. I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about it. That's the benefits of being a man. I can shave off all my head and everything. So we have blonde girl. Sally, where are you on this continent? Because you sure as hell not in America. I can tell you that much, Sally and Melanie. You are not in America, and if you are, you just arrived. Because Nina, is that you? Nina, is that you? We have blonde hair, blue eye, black. I know that, but not in America. That's not prevalent. Sally, about you telling yourself, girl or boy. Um, child. Lolo don't have blue, pink, purple pubic hair either, but she does on her head. But she act like she do with her pretending to be dumb ass. Huh? Lemon, lemon. Molly, stop it, Molly. I'm like, girl, it's weird. It's just weird. Ugh. See, Lolo is somebody I can't depend on in the fight because she'll wind up saying, "Oh, you don't like him? I don't like him either." And it wind up jumping me too. That's the kind of people you don't need in your life is a Lolo. You don't need a Lolo. I'm sorry, Lolo, but you too like fickle for me. Too fickle for me. I'm just you up there swinging everybody with a baseball bat, and then she grabbed a baseball bat from you and started hitting you too. Who needs friends like that? Like that's the definition of a backstabber. And Lola, I'm not coming for you. I'm just judging you by your actions. Like for real, for real. Like if you one day you want to stand up, your ass is what 54 years old, 52 years old. When you gonna grow up? Like I don't know. Maybe weird out here. And then Jay Wilson, I didn't listen to that Jay Wilson video. He talks like, wow. I'm like, well, you were the one talking about jail all doing the broadcast with Rico. I don't know. Anyway, anything else? Anybody got any other questions? Please do adjust the $sign something. God, every tremendous appreciate it. Woo! What's up, girl? How you doing, Philly T? How you doing? In case you didn't know, you might need to go down there to bail Rico out down in Brooklyn, wherever you are. What they said, the 116th precinct. Philly T might need you to help bail Rico out. Okay? Philly T said, "No, the hell I ain't." Elizabeth said, "No, the hell I ain't." Rico, you better. I don't know. I ain't no damn Rico. But yeah, so you gonna catch the replay, child. Since last night for the T, Rico done got arrested. It's not funny, but I'm just thinking of how the hell that ain't never happened. Like we in the good life, he sound like he having a good conversation, and then wake up, oh Rico arrested. And the crazy part about it, he wasn't arrested on the street. He wasn't arrested on the subway. He wasn't arrested on the Chinese bus. He was arrested right there in his motherfucking door. And they came to kill him. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. Oh, that's crazy. They come pick your ass up. Y'all must have done a lot of. Y'all must have done not. Well, y'all must have done a lot of calling because all that happened in New York. Some dog would have been the last of the New York precinct um, worries. They had a whole damn active shooter down there in Wall Street yesterday, and dog called on some damn dog. Like so, for them to sit there and navigate their attention from the active shooter situation to their Rico in the middle of the night. Y'all must have been calling some. Y'all must be bringing that phone off the hook. That's what I have to say. Crazy. Insane. Rose B says, "Hey y'all, SK Rico should have remained silent, answer no questions, right? And they never said they had a warrant for his arrest. So I don't understand why they were there in the first place. And then the man gonna talk about based on what you showed us. What? Anyway, which is I'm not laughing at him getting I'm just laughing at you talking about me giving up bail money. listen, Philly T. I was hoping you would save him. No. He gave them all the discovery they needed to get arrested. He sure did by conversation and by opening up that damn door. That's what he did. And he should never went outside. I don't know how that worked. But they said they already had a warrant for his arrest. So I guess it's either that or SWAT. I guess that's why that man said thank you for not being problematic, I guess. Because the next thing they would have had to do was call SWAT, right? Right? They would have had to call SWAT. So that would have been a real situation. You were gonna get his apartment back if they had to call SWAT. So yeah. Anyway, all right, y'all got any questions? Anything? Cause I'm telling you, head on out. I'm gonna try to enjoy this day today. But I'll be back later, y'all. I think I'll be back later. Cause I gotta talk about that herpes thing. I gotta talk about that herpes thing. In case y'all didn't know, who's she fine? Um, I'm not talking about that herpes thing because it was a cheerleader that shared herpes with her. Well, oh Lord, shared a water bottle with her team, and she gave her team herpes. Child, so be careful. Don't be careful who you drink off of. What's up, Tibbs 43? Back up. Okay, child. All right, let me see. That part, Rose B. He gave them the evidence. Yeah, he abused the dog in his Fourth of July video. Right. So that's what I'm saying. This coming all this what is it today? The day is the 29th. So you tell me 25 days ago? No, I think what happened was some people kept calling them, ramped up the effort to call the police. That's what I feel. That's what I feel, to be honest with y'all. But maybe it take police time to work to be slow. I don't know. But then again, be careful what you put out here. Because people can easily distort the truth. When they got it on video, they can distort the truth. So all right, y'all, I'm out of here. Y'all take care. If y'all want to, please send a Justin the dollar sign Surfing Crown. And also, please, y'all, appreciate y'all freedom. And stop playing with the freedom of others because y'all don't want y'all freedom to play with. That's all I got to really say. Rico, if you listening, keep your head up. Keep your head up and get serious about life and leave this YouTube shit alone. Sometimes you just gotta drop it. You gotta abandon it. You just got to leave it alone because it ain't nothing really good that comes from it. Like, when you out like you are, you know what I mean? Ain't nothing really come from good from it. Like, you got your enemies and they want to call them stuff on you. So for you, ain't nothing really come from it. You know what I mean? But there's levels to this. So anyway, yes, everyone have a great day, y'all. Please have a great day and keep Rico in your thoughts. Keep what's his dog name? Rico Jr. in your thoughts and prayers. So bye y'all. I'm out of here. Take care. Ooh, child. Yeah, just pray for him too, y'all, because I could just imagine he a nervous wreck right now, knowing that he keeps saying, "I'm not gonna let you two take everything from me." And what happened? He lost. I hope he don't lose the shelter. I hope he don't lose his. It's just a sad situation. So be grateful for what you have. With that being said, I'm out of here. Take care, y'all. Bye. Woo child. Where my woo child clip at? Because this has definitely been a ooh child moment. Now what? Y'all fucking hold on. Oh my god. All right, y'all. Woo child is right. Bye, y'all.
Ooh, child.